I'm high as I've ever been, higher than heaven sits. Roll up my weed and think about my exes and jealousness, how to stay current and relevant.
Hey guys, what's up? It's T-Hen. Today I'm going to be bringing you a Playmaker signature style video. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in order as far as your shots, dunks, and layups, and dribble moves. So let's go ahead and start with shots. Now for your shots, there's a few different ones that I would say that are pretty good. Rudy Gay's is pretty good. Release 1 is pretty good. Release 55 is pretty good. Carmelo Anthony is pretty good. And my favorite is John Wall. Now with jump shots, there's not really a perfect jump shot because it's just kind of whatever feels good to you. And to me, John Wall is the easiest for me. It's a quick release. It's not too fast, but it's not too slow. And I just seem to green light quite a bit with it. Like I said, Carmelo Anthony, John Wall, Rudy Gay, Release 1, and Release 55 are my favorites. Free throws, you don't really have to worry about free throws unless you are a Pro-Am player or if you play 21. So, I mean, if you do use free throws, to me, free throw 4 is the best because it's just fast, and, I mean, the extra animation is just really a waste of time, to be honest. Contested shots, I don't really use contested shots on purpose. If I do use a contested shot, it's by accident. So if you do get in that situation where you do get into a contested shot, I would say Steph Curry is probably the best way to go because his is just the easiest to have that muscle memory with. Now other than that, let's see, Nowitzki. Nowitzki is another good one. That's mainly for big men, but I mean you can play that off as a small guy too. Dribble pull-ups, I actually love dribble pull-ups. I have a shot creator that's actually one of my favorite players I have. So I'm pretty familiar with the dribble pull-ups. The two I recommend is Elite 12 and Lance Stevenson. Those are my two favorite ones because they jump high, they create space. Since they jump so high, they don't really get blocked, and to me, they just get the green lights. In fact, if you look up a lot of different videos, Elite 12 is your way to go. Spin jumpers, I don't use spin jumpers unless I'm on my shot creator. So I have a different one on my shot creator. I can't think of what it is right this second, so I'd recommend Steph Curry because his release just seems to be the easiest to remember on just about any of his shots. Hop jumper, same thing. I don't really use it, and if you use that as a playmaker, you're just asking to brick your shots. But if you have to use it for whatever reason, Steph Curry is the way to go. Post fades, this one's actually interesting. A lot of people don't use post fades as a playmaker because, I mean, your main job is to actually get people open. But I use it sometimes, and I prefer Michael Jordan's because he creates space with it, enough space to get open, and I like his animations, and his release is actually pretty good. Now, another good one, once again, is Nowitzki's. Nowitzki's post fade is actually incredible. If you either watch him in real life or if you play with him on the game, his post fade is incredible. That's like his #1 shot. So his release is actually kind of, for me, it's a little difficult to get down, but once you get it down, I mean, you'll be good to go. Michael Jordan, though, is my favorite. Post hooks, I don't know why you'd be using a post hook as a playmaker. If that's part of your arsenal, I guess skyhook. The reason I say skyhook is, to me, it just looks cool and it gets the highest up there. Shaquille O'Neal's is also a good one. I actually use skyhook though for my big men. Now your hop shot, your hop, shimmy, and protect, I don't use those at all. The only one I really ever use, and it's by accident, is protect shot, and one to me is the best one to go, especially since there's only 3 to choose from. So that's it for shots. Let's go ahead and get into dunks and layups. Now, I honestly would not copy my dunks down exactly how it is because these are not the safest dunks. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for safe dunks, your normal ones like these are going to be your safe dunks. Like your hangs off 2, that's a pretty good one. It doesn't really get blocked, but I kind of like the happy medium of being safe and flashy at the same time, and to me, Russell Westbrook is the way to go. If you're just trying to be flat out flashy, Zach LaVine, I mean, he's a 2-time dunk contest winner. I mean, so why would he not have the flashy dunks? Zach LaVine would be the way to go for flashy dunks. Russell Westbrook, to me, would be the way to go for happy medium dunks as far as Has some protection and some flash at the same time. And then if you're wanting just protected shot or protected dunks, you need to go through here and look at those. Now, your layup. I do not have this one equipped, and I actually do not have it purchased on this Playmaker, but to me, the best layup package is going to be Jamal Crawford. And to me, the reason is because he doesn't just go straight up to the rim. He actually takes his time. He'll kind of he'll kind of eurostep without eurostepping. He just extends it, and with the way that people play D, they just kind of spam triangle and they'll spam Y, and you don't really get blocked because you're taking that time to get up, and by the time you're getting to the rim, they're either touching the ground again or they're just starting to go back up. Your alley-oop dunks, I don't really use it, but when I do, to me, alley-oop 2 is probably the safest and fastest. I'm all about, with my dunks, I'm all about being quick because I hate getting blocked off dunks. Contact dunks, you can't really equip those as a Playmaker, but I mean, if you can, for whatever reason, equip all 3 of them. That would be really the only way to go with it. Now, this is the main part of this. This is what everybody likes to see. Before we actually get into this, I'm going to tell you right now, just because these dribble moves work for me does not mean they'll work for you, and just because, say, Prettyboyfredo's dribble moves work for him does not mean they're going to work for you. Now, you can take these dribble moves and use them as a training base off of them and just kind of add what you want to them to spice it up and to make it really your own type of arsenal. Make it to what feels good to you. So let's actually go ahead and start with the crossovers. Elite 2 is actually one that a lot of people use. To me, it's my favorite because it's fast, it creates space, and it will actually, I mean, it breaks a good amount of ankles, but mainly it actually fakes people out in real life. Like, when I see somebody that I don't know has Elite 2 crossover and they hit me with it, I lose them. And it's not the animation of my guy getting broken, it's me actually fumbling the controller because they faked me out. To me, Elite 2 is the best way to go. Now, there's other good crossovers like Elite 3. I think Elite 7 is one that a lot of people use. Those are good, but Elite 2 really rules the game with crossovers. Behind the back, I don't really use behind the backs, and that's because you give up the ball quite often. People like to run up to you to hold L2 or left trigger, whatever you're on, and to play intense D, and when they do that, if you're in the middle of that animation, you lose the ball, and if it rolls out of bounds, it's out on you because it actually doesn't touch them. But if you have to use it, I would say Elite 6 is a good one, and Elite 5. Those are your 2 best ones. Elite 5, it kind of gives you that extra length when you throw it behind your back and you reach out, so it protects it a little bit more, I guess, but it's a lot faster. To me, Elite 6, yeah, it's a little bit slower, but to me, it offers the most protection out of any of the behind the backs, really. ISO spins, as you can see, I use normal 1, and that is because I don't use ISO spins. I think spins are really not a good dribble move. I mean, I might get some hate for that, but I do not like it. Like I said, these work for me. These may not work for you. You can add whatever you want to this. If you like ISO spins, Elite 3 is the one I used to use, but I mean, once again, it's all up to you. Elite 3 is pretty fast. You can change directions pretty fast with it, and you will catch some ankles with it. Hesitations, as you can see, I do not have anything other than normal 1 because to me, hesitation 1, or normal 1, sorry, is the best one because it's not too flashy. It gets the job done. It gives you just enough hesitation to really explode off your dribble. It's not too much to ask. Rhythm dribble, there's a few different ones you can use. Elite 1 to me is the best because I just feel like it gives you that extra variety. Like, you can go off of your other dribble moves a lot better with it. It seems smoother. It doesn't look clunky. And it's fast. I mean, you can go, your rhythm dribble down to your crossover, your crossover size up, or to your behind the back, or whatever you want to do. It just seems smooth. If you don't like Elite 1 for whatever reason, Elite 7 is another good one. To me, Elite 7 is really only good when you use the behind the back crossover quite often. The way that it flows with the behind the back is just, it's the smoothest it can be, really. And Kyrie Irving. You can use Kyrie Irving. His is pretty good, Mainly, the only thing I use Kyrie Irving for is when I feel like I want to be a dick and just kind of taunt people. To me, it just looks really funny when you sit there and rhythm dribble in their face and then they start reaching in on you and then they get a reaching foul, which just pisses them off more. But I mean, it's pretty useful, but I would still say Elite 1. Basic size ups, Elite 2, because to me it's fast, and once again, it just kind of flows with your other dribble moves. It's just, you know, you can use normal 1. The normal 1's pretty good, but I know a lot of people like the elite styles. I like elite styles better than normal styles or basic, and in my opinion, Elite 2 is the best. Hesitation inside and out, Bledsoe, and it's just, I don't really know how you're going to compete with Bledsoe's hesitation inside and out. You can use Kemba Walker's, but really the only reason you're going to use Kemba Walker's is if you're into like cheesy dribble moves, and a lot of those have been patched, so you can't really use it anymore. And just the hesitation inside and out by itself, to me, it's not really going to fake anybody out, and it just kind of looks dumb, and you're really just opening yourself up to get stripped. So Bledsoe, you can use Elite 2. I don't recommend Elite 2 anymore. I just don't use it anymore. It's good, I just don't prefer it anymore. But if you do, it's a good way to make people fall backwards. That's really all it can do. Bledsoe's, you can really cross people over with it. They'll fall to the side and they'll fall backwards, and it fakes them out in real life, so you get kind of the best of both worlds. Your size up crossovers, I don't really know, once again, anybody that can compete with Chris Paul's. You get the most space with it. It's the fastest, in my opinion, and it just looks cool. It will break people's ankles, and you can explode off the dribble move really fast. So Chris Paul. Kyrie Irving's is pretty good too. It looks really nice. Everybody knows Kyrie Irving is one of the kings of dribbling, so obviously his stuff's going to be pretty good and pretty fast. So if you like Kyrie's better, go with Kyrie's. If you like Chris Paul's animation, go with Chris Paul. They're both very excellent, you know, dribble move or size up crossovers. Between the leg size up, I really don't use this other than when I'm being a dick. Once again, I'll walk up court and I will just do between the leg cross-ups or crossovers, just to kind of taunt them. It baits people in, and as soon as they reach in on you or they start walking up to you, you just explode off of whatever hand you just caught the ball in, and you're gone. You'll break your defender every single time. And if they're just standing there at the half court waiting for you to come by, it just looks really funny. I don't really use it for any type of dribble moves as far as breaking people's ankles. So this to me is just the best, I guess, troll dribble move. Now behind the back, I don't actually ever see anybody use this particular one. A lot of people use, let's see, actually I do not have it equipped on this one. I can't think of his name right this second either, I apologize, but a lot of people actually use Steph Curry's as well, now that I think about it. I don't like the way that he pulls the ball out. I just feel like it's just really easy to get stripped. And I actually use this quite often. I don't use it to create space really. I just kind of use it to kind of fake out my defender. And to me, Derrick Rose has the best one because it's just so fast. It's just, he doesn't hesitate. It's just a double crossover behind your back and you just explode off of it or pass out, whatever you want to do. Anyways, that would be it for my dribble moves, dunks and layups and shots. Like I said, these are just kind of the basis of what I use. This is what works for, excuse me, this is just what works for me. This may not work for you, but this can give you at least a base to start with, and then just edit from there, and eventually you'll have your own set of dribble moves, and you can upload a video, and that may be the next greatest thing. Who knows? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and as I say always, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.